Good afternoon. It's the day before Easter, Saturday, April 11th. I've been looking at things since, I don't know, late January, February, March. Now we're into April. And I mentioned hydrochloroquine and Plaquenil or hydrochloroquine, hydrochloroquine, Plaquenil along with Zithromax being the possibility of being a possible antidote to the coronavirus early on, as it was mentioned by my father, who's a doctor. And it does show some very promising things, especially if you catch patients early. I've been watching videos of doctors talking about this. As soon as you think somebody has the coronavirus, even though they're asymptomatic, showing no signs, you would give them this regimen on a daily basis, and it seems to get them well, keep them out of respiratory distress. They catch the virus when it's in their nasal passages up towards the front before it goes down into the lungs and becomes a serious problem. And this seems to make the difference on whether or not people end up on a respirator and die or not. Is it 100%? No. Is it 90-something percent? Yes, it is, on its usefulness. The problem is that they've restricted the use of the hydrochloroquine remedy to the hospitals only. Like, my father right now could not write me a prescription of it, although that would be unethical because I am his daughter, but he couldn't write the prescription to a patient of his right now, the way they have the restrictions done. And that's never been done before. Doctors have the right to treat their patients as they see fit. Now, especially independent doctors who are not hemmed up and a part of a hospital. But doctors have usually been respected as autonomous in their field and professionals to do the regimens that they see fit that would work. But now they're being hemmed up and restricted, and it's only being held up into the hospitals. Now, other doctors have apparently been in touch with President Trump and pushing for this regiment to be given to American citizens immediately if they are suspected to have the virus, even though they're showing asymptomatic and maybe they've had a test and it hasn't come back. Early treatment is the preventative to this virus. Now, we all know that there's a certain faction of our government that would love nothing better to make money off of this catastrophe. And hell, they even did a roundtable discussion about it in October on what the possible ramifications of a virus or a pandemic would be. And that would be Gates and his crew, which Fauci has a connection to. And so does that woman that's up there on the stage, too. That particular group would not love nothing better than to come up with the vaccine, because they stand to make a ton of money off of this. But what they did not see coming was doctors finding a solution on their own. using a drug that's been around since the 1930s, the hydrochloroquine, that could be made at a penny a pill. 1 penny a pill. So it is very cheap. Right now, apparently, they're upping the prices. So don't let the inflation of what they say it actually costs fool you. It can be made for a penny a pill. And not, people aren't going to make much off of that, now are they? They'll make some, because there'll be some skyrocketing in the cost of it, because, people need it. But it won't be anything like what they could make off a vaccine. And it would be a smaller group of people making that kind of money off of a vaccine. And nor do I trust anything that they're going to speed up the process and shoot up into my arm that I don't know what the hell it is. I'd rather a drug that's been around and tested and proven to have minimal side effects. So, Trump stated that he had a huge decision to make. And I think his huge decision is to open back up our country based on this information, and possibly opening up this medication to the American population as a preventative against this virus, and that most of us would be successful in, even if we caught it, we would be fine. Now, there will be that small percentage of the population that still needs to be very careful, extremely careful, who have, autoimmune problems, morbidities that they already have, asthma, high blood pressure, diabetes, etc. But this seems very promising, and maybe this is a part of his big decision, and I'm just putting it out there, and I'm hopeful that this is a part of his big decision as something he will use to make it safe for us to get back out there and for us to have, again, a normal life where we're not all walking around with masks on our faces and gloves on our hands. Y'all have a great evening. Bye.